uniform electric field. So let us see what is the meaning of this one. Clear, ma? So uniform electric field. Okay. So what is meant by uniform electric field? Name only it indicates, no? So magnitude and direction of electric field should be same. That's all, no? So therefore what is meant by uniform electric field? Magnitude and direction of electric field should be same everywhere. That is called as uniform electric field. Okay. So how can I create a uniform electric field? Let us see. Clear? For example, if I take positive charge. Clear? So here we have to study about electric lines of force. So we imagine that electric lines of force are always going away from the positive charge. Clear? Na? So we suppose electric field lines are moving away from the positive charge. Are you able to understand? Clear, ma? So what are these lines? These are electric lines of force. So we assume electric field is made up of electric lines of force. Are you able to understand, ma? So these electric lines of force, they will be making exactly 90 degrees with respect to the positive charge. Clear? Similarly, if you take a negative charge, electric lines of force, they will be coming towards the charge. They will come like this. Clear, ma? So they will be coming towards the charge, and here also they are making exactly 90 degrees with respect to the negative charge. Are you able to understand? So here what I can say, for example, if you take one point here and if you take a second point here. Clear, ma? So where can you say electric field is greater? So at point 1 let electric field is E1, at point 2 let electric field is E2. Then what is the relation between E1 and E2? If you take electric field at E1 and E2, what is the relation between E1 and E2? So what is E? E is equals to KQ divided by R square, no? KQ divided by R square. So if R is lesser, E will be greater. So for which value R is lesser? For first one. So definitely I can say E1 is greater than E2. That's all, no? So electric field at first point is greater than electric field at second point. Or you can say that if you place a positive test charge here test charge will experience more amount of force because the distance is smaller, no? Same concept I can explain with the help of this electric lines also. See, ma, here what is happening to the distance of electric lines of force? Distance between the electric lines of force is increasing, no? If distance between the electric lines of force increases, I can say electric field decreases. Clear, ma? How can I explain electric field with the help of electric lines of force? I can explain like this. So if distance between electric lines of force increases, that is density of electric lines of force, clear, ma? If decreases, clear, then what will happen? Electric field magnitude also decreases. This is understandable, no? So if electric field lines are getting separated, it means that what is the meaning of this one? Through that point, less number of electric fields are traveling. If less number of electric fields are traveling, then force experienced by the charge also reduces. So as electric fields get separated, definitely I can say E1 value is greater than E2 value. That is, the value of electric field also decreases. Clear, ma? Similarly, for example, if you take one point here and another point here. So this is point E1 and this is point E2. So where electric field strength is greater? E2 is greater. Why E2 is greater than E1? Again same concept. Here electric field distance between two electric fields is lesser, no? Distance between two electric field lines of force is lesser. So here the strength of electric field will be greater. Clear, no? For example, if I draw electric field lines like this. Clear ma? So this is one electric field, this is another electric field. So here I am taking point number 1 and here I am taking point number 2. Can you say where electric field is greater? Definitely E2 is greater than E1. Why E2 is greater than E1? Because here distance between electric lines is smaller. So here strength of electric field will be greater. Are you able to understand ma? Come on, first make a note up to here. Okay ma? So definitely we can say E2 value is greater than E1 value in this condition. Now, for example, if I arrange charges like this, clear ma? So if I am taking a line or if you are taking a rod on which charges are present like this, clear ma? Charges are uniformly distributed on total length of this rod. Okay. Now can you say what is the direction of electric field due to these positive charges? What will be the direction of electric field due to these positive charges? In which direction? Electric field lines will be traveling in this direction, no ma? Electric field lines will be traveling in this direction. Okay. So what is the distance between electric field lines? Is it increasing or decreasing? Remaining same, no? Distance between electric field lines is remaining same. If distance between the electric field lines is same, then what about electric field? Strength of electric field also remains constant. That is the meaning of this one. So if you take one point here, another point here, this is point 1, this is point number 2, then electric field at first point will be equal to electric field at second point. Why? Because distance between electric lines of force is not increasing. Clear now? Similarly, how can I create a uniform electric field? Very simply, I can create a uniform electric field. How is? By connecting two plates to two terminals of a battery. Clear ma? So these are two metallic plates. This is plate number 1 and this is another metallic plate which is called plate number 2. Clear ma? So this one I am connecting to positive terminal and second one I am connecting to negative terminal of a battery. Then positive charges will be deposited on the inner surface of this metallic conductor and negative charges will be deposited on the inner surface of this conductor. Clear nama? And here also what is the direction of electric field? Positive to negative. This will be the direction of electric lines of force, no? Electric lines of force will be always traveling from positive charge to negative charge. So what is the distance between these electric lines? Is it increasing or decreasing? They are remaining same. So therefore, here in the gap between these plates, electric field will be uniform. So that is what is called as uniform electric field. Clear ma? Come on, make a note up to here and we will stop the class up to here. Come on. So therefore, in between the plates, clear ma? The electric lines of force, clear, are equally spaced. Therefore, electric field in between the plates, is uniform. Electric field in between the plates is uniform. So this is how I can create an uniform electric field. Understand, Nama? So make a note up to here, then your chemistry class will continue. Plates of a metallic conductor, similarly, if I connect them to any battery, okay, then all the positive charges, they get deposited on the inner surface of these plates. So this is positively charged plate now and this is negatively charged plate. Are you able to understand, ma? So positive plate will supply positive charges, negative plate will supply negative charges. Clear? So how electric lines of force will travel? They will travel from positive charges to negative charges in this direction. Clear? So here also I can say electric field is uniform. So this is what is called as uniform electric field. Are you able to understand, ma? So for example, if this is the direction of uniform electric field, so if this is the direction of E dash, uniform electric field. So how I can say this is uniform electric field, ma? So with the help of these electric lines of force. So if the spacing between the electric lines of force, if it is constant, then definitely I can say electric field is uniform. Are you able to understand? It means it has same magnitude and direction everywhere. Okay. Now, for example, in this uniform electric field, if I place a positive charge here, then what will happen? If I place a positive charge here, then can you say what will happen? In uniform electric field, if I place a positive charge here, what will happen? Will it experience force or not? Force. In which direction? It will experience force in which direction? So either it should experience force in the direction of electric field or in opposite direction to the direction of electric field. So in which direction this positive charge will experience the force? That is the question. Clear, ma? See, if this is the direction of electric lines of force, it means that positive charges are present here. No? Are you able to understand? Because, for example, if this is a positive charge, from the positive charge, electric lines of force, they always go away from the charge. That's all. No? So, if these are the electric lines of force, it means definitely here what charges are present? Positive charges are present. So, if I place one more positive charge in the electric field, then what will happen? It will experience a force of repulsion. This positive charge will experience a force of repulsion. It means that positive charges always travel, they will experience force in the direction of electric field. Are you able to understand, ma? So here what is the note point we can write? Note point we can write is positive charges experience force in the direction of electric field. Okay, ma? Positive charges always experience force in the direction of electric field. Are you able to understand? Similarly, if I place a negative charge here, this is negative charge. Now what about this one? It will experience force exactly in opposite direction. That is the meaning of this one. Clear, ma? Now the question is, how much force they will experience? So that is given by the magnitude of electric field. No? So what is meant by E value? Force experienced per unit test charge is called as electric field. So therefore, force experienced by each charge will be how much? Clear, ma? Force experienced will be equal to E into Q. That's all, ma? So this is a very important formula which we have to always remember. It means, for example, if this is the electric field, clear, ma? If this is our electric field, clear? So if I place positive charge, if this is a positive charge, it experiences force in this direction, in the direction of electric field. How much force it will experience? It will experience a force of Q into E. Clear? F is equals to Q into E. No? Q is the charge which is placed here. E is the magnitude of charge which is placed. And from where we derived this relation? From the basic definition of electric field. Electric field means force experienced per unit test charge is called as electric field. So positive charge will experience force in this direction, which is called as F is equal to Q into E. And similarly, if I place a negative charge in the same electric field, then this experience force exactly in opposite direction. Clear, ma? And here force experienced again is given by which relation? Again F is equals to Q into E. So this F is equals to Q into E, always you should remember. Clear, ma? Okay. So if any body experiences force, then what will happen? If any charge or any mass experiences force, then what will happen? Body will accelerate. Body will accelerate. That's all. Now, according to Newton's second law, we have F is equals to ma. Force is equals to mass into acceleration. That's all, no? So therefore, how much force is experienced? Q into E amount of force is experienced. So this is equals to mass into acceleration. That's all, no? So therefore, what is A value? A is equals to QE divided by M. So this will be the acceleration experienced by each charge. So it depends on mass and depends on amount of electric field and it depends on amount of charge. Are you able to understand, ma? So if charge possessed by the body increases, acceleration also increases. If strength of electric field increases, then also acceleration increases. If mass of the charge increases, then acceleration decreases. Okay, come on, make a note up to here. Try to answer these questions. So a deuteron and an alpha particle are placed in uniform electric field. So let electric field be E. Clear, ma? Then find the ratio of their accelerations. That is the first question. Okay. So what is meant by deuteron? Deuteron means what? So it is a particle which is having exactly same charge as that of electron, but its mass is double to that of electron. Are you able to understand, ma? So mass of a deuteron is exactly double to that of electron. Clear? Okay. So therefore, then an alpha particle. What is an alpha particle? Alpha particle means it is a helium nucleus, no? Alpha particle is nothing but helium nucleus. So it has mass number 4 and its charge is twice. Okay? Come on, see what is the acceleration possessed by this one. Clear, ma? So deuteron means it has 2 times the mass of proton, not electron. Ma. Clear? So therefore, what is a deuteron? Deuteron means, so it has mass 2m, 2 times the mass of proton, and charge is q, 1 time the charge of proton. Then what is alpha particle? Alpha particle means it is helium nucleus. Already we have studied this one in Rutherford's experiment, helium nucleus. So it has mass number 4 times mass, 4m, 4 times the mass of proton. Clear, ma? And charge is equals to 2q, 2 times the charge of that of single proton. Okay. Then what you are supposed to answer? So it is placed, these 2 particles, they are placed in uniform electric field. This is the uniform electric field. Are you able to understand me? So here we are placing a deuteron and here we are placing a helium nucleus. Okay, that is an alpha particle. Then they will experience how much acceleration, that is the question. How can I calculate? So A is equals to F by m, no ma? A is equals to F by m. What is F? Q into E divided by m. Already we have studied this one, no? Okay. So therefore, what is the acceleration of deuteron? F. F is equals to charge is how much? Q into E divided by mass is 2m. So QE divided by 2m. Similarly, what is the acceleration of alpha particle? Acceleration of alpha particle is charge is 2q into E divided by mass is 4 times the mass. So again it is equals to QE divided by 2m. So therefore here I can say acceleration of deuteron is equals to acceleration of alpha particle. Clear? So this is how we can calculate the accelerations. Okay, come on, make a note of this one. Okay. So then he gave one more question also. Okay, ma? Okay. So next question. See how you can answer the next question. What is the next question? A charged particle q comma m. It means it is having a charge of q and mass is m. It is placed in uniform electric field. Then find its kinetic energy after a time of t. Clear, ma? So after a time of t, we are supposed to find its kinetic energy. Can you say how can I calculate? Clear, ma? Consider this is an uniform electric field and this particle whose charge is q and whose mass is m, it is placed in this electric field. So we are supposed to find out kinetic energy of the particle after a time of t. Kinetic energy formula? Half mv square, no? What is meant by v here? V is called final velocity of the body after a time of t. So how can I calculate final velocity? So I can use v square minus u square is equals to 2as, but I want in a time of t, no? So therefore what I will do, I will use the relation v is equals to u plus at. Final velocity is equals to initial velocity plus acceleration into time. So final velocity is v, initial velocity is 0, acceleration is so much, a is equals to f by m into t. That's all, number. So v is equals to, force can be written as q into e divided by m into t. So this is our equation for final velocity of the particle after a time of t. So once I get final velocity, kinetic energy I can easily calculate. No? Kinetic energy is how much? Half mv square. So half into mass is m, and velocity is how much? Velocity is q square e square t square divided by m square. So m and square gets cancelled. So q square e square t square divided by 2m. That is our answer. Okay, come on, make a note of this. So an electron is given a velocity along uniform electric field. So after how much time electron will return to original position? So for example, if this is the direction of uniform electric field, clear ma? So here we have an electron, clear? So electron is given a velocity v0 along uniform electric field, and it must return to the original position also. This electron must return to the original position also. It means velocity is given in which direction, can you see? Velocity is given in which direction? Think. So if this is the direction of electric field, what is the meaning of this one? It means that we can assume that positive charges are present on this side, negative charges are present on this side. That is the meaning of this one. So if electric field is in this direction, consider these are the electric lines of force. Electric lines of force will be moving away from the positive charge and towards the negative charge. That is the direction of electric lines of force. It means I can assume positive charges are present here, negative charges are present here. So electron, I can give velocity v0 in which direction so that it returns back also. Shall I give in backward direction or forward direction? Forward direction I have to give. Why in forward direction? Because there is a force of repulsion between electrons and this negative charge. So definitely this electron will experience a force of deceleration. Are you able to understand? So therefore after some time definitely it will return back. Are you able to understand? So first of all, we can calculate a time taken by this electron to stop. Time taken by this electron to stop. How can I calculate that one? So after how much time he is asking, no, so we'll use the relation v is equals to u plus at. Clear ma? So after some time electron will stop, no? It means his final velocity will become 0. And initial velocity is how much? v0. Clear ma? And this is negative acceleration, and in a time of t1, its velocity will become 0. Are you able to understand? Okay. So therefore 0 is equals to v0 minus alpha. Alpha can be written as a is equals to f by m into t1. So 0 is equals to v0 minus, force can be written as q into e divided by m into t1. So therefore time taken is how much ma? v0 into m divided by qe. That's all. No? So this is the amount of time taken by the electron to stop. Clear? Then let us consider this electron has moved up to here and it has stopped. Now it will return back also, no? Why it will return back? Because the acceleration experienced by the electron is constant. It is experiencing same amount of acceleration, and direction of acceleration is also same. So previously it was experiencing acceleration in this direction. Negative acceleration, no? Velocity is in one direction, but acceleration is in opposite direction. That is why its velocity is reducing. So even after stopping also what will happen? Acceleration direction remains to be same. So therefore it returns back again. So again to travel from here to here, how much time it will take? It will take again same time. No? Why time taken is equal? Because acceleration is equal. So therefore here what I can write as acceleration remains constant. As acceleration remains constant, what I can write? I can write time taken to return back. Time taken to return back, let the time taken be t2. So it is also equal to t1. So therefore total time taken, how I can write? t1 plus t2. So total time taken is equals to 2v0 m divided by q into e. So that is our answer. Okay, ma? Come on, make a note of this one. So between two charged plates, uniform electric field is directed vertically downwards. So what is meant by vertically downwards? So if this is one plate and this is another plate, so electric field is acting in this direction. This is the direction of electric field. Clear ma? Uniform electric field is acting in downwards direction. So here there is a charged particle whose charge is q and whose mass is m. Clear ma? So it is in equilibrium. Equilibrium means what? It is floating in between these two plates. It is not moving upwards. It is not going downwards also. Okay. Then find the excess of electrons or shortage of electrons in the charged particle. So what is meant by shortage of electrons? Shortage of electrons means what? Shortage of electrons means, so this is a positively charged particle. That's all, Nama. Positively charged particle. Clear? And excess of electrons means what? Excess of electrons means it is a negatively charged particle. That is the meaning of this one. No? If electrons are removed, body will become positively charged body. If you add some electrons, it will become a negatively charged particle. Clear? Ma? So therefore, if it is what you call shortage of electrons are present. Shortage of electrons means what? If it is a positively charged particle. Are you able to understand, ma? Then let us draw the free body diagram of that charged particle. Clear, ma? So this is the charged particle. How many forces will be acting? So its mass m is no, so mass is m, so weight mg will be acting in downwards direction. Clear, ma? And if it is a positively charged body, now can you say what is the direction of electric force experienced by this charge? Charge will experience force in which direction? Come on. So if it is a positive, downwards only, no, he gave? Vertically downwards only. Clear, ma? So if it is a positively charged body, it will experience force in which direction? Downwards. Why in downwards direction? So if this is the direction of electric lines of force, it means positive charges are present here, no? It means negative charges are present in this direction. So if it is a positively charged body, there will be force of repulsion between positive and positive. So therefore it will experience force in downwards direction. So F is equals to Q into E. It is in downwards direction. Now can this charge, can it remain in equilibrium? These are the only two forces acting on this charge, no? If this is the charge, these two forces are acting in downwards direction. So can this body be in equilibrium? No, two forces are acting in same direction. What is the total force? Total force is equals to QE plus mg. So total force will produce mass into acceleration, net force. So therefore acceleration is equals to QE plus mg divided by m. So with this much of acceleration, the charged particle will come and touch this negative plate. So definitely there is no shortage of electrons in this condition because charged particle is in equilibrium. So therefore what is the meaning of this one? So therefore this charged particle has excess of electrons. So now we will study about excess of electrons. Excess of electrons. So if excess of electrons are present, then what is the meaning of this one? This is a negatively charged particle, Nama. This is a negatively charged particle. If it is a negatively charged particle, it will experience force in which direction? It will experience electric force in upward direction. So F is equals to Q into E. This is the direction of electric force. If this is a negatively charged particle, it will have force towards positive charges only, no? That is in opposite direction to the direction of electric field. Positive charges will experience force in the direction of electric field. Negative charges will experience force opposite direction to the direction of electric field. Are you able to understand, ma? And what is one more force which is acting on this one? It's what? Weight mg. Mg is acting in downwards direction, no? So if these two forces are balanced, then the charge will be in equilibrium. That's all. No? So therefore how I can write? I can write Q into E is equal to M into G. That's all. No? So therefore what is the amount of charge possessed by this particle? Mg divided by E. But this is not what he is asking. No, what he is asking, so number of electrons which are in shortage or in excess. So Q value we have calculated. From Q value, how can I calculate the excess electrons or shortage of electrons? Shortage is definitely not correct, excess of electrons. Excess of electrons, how can I calculate? If I get Q value, how can I calculate excess of electrons? Already we have discussed a relation, no? So we have Q is equals to N into E. That relation we have, no? Q is equals to N into E. What is Q? Total amount of charge. What is E? Number of electrons. And what is E? Charge of each electron. That's all. So therefore N value is equals to Q divided by E. What is Q value? Mg divided by capital E into small e. So this is the number of electrons which are in excess in this charged particle. Okay, that's all. Make a note of this. Completed number? First. So Seema, I will explain this question. So these are two plates. So electric field is in downwards direction. It means definitely this is a negative charged plate and this is a positively charged plate. That's all number. So in between this electric field there is a charged ball whose radius is r. And what is the density of this ball? Density of this ball is sigma. Clear ma? And it is falling down with a constant velocity. So its velocity is constant. Clear? And coefficient of viscosity of air is given as eta, and density of air he is asking us to be negligible. Density of air he is asking not to consider. Then find the charge on the ball. What is the charge which is present on this ball? Q value we are supposed to find out if Q is positive. Okay, come on. Any idea how we can solve this ball problem? Anybody, students in online? Can you say, ma? How can we solve this problem? Okay. See, ma, first of all, if velocity is a constant, what do you understand? If velocity is constant, then what do you understand? Acceleration is zero, that's all, no? If velocity is constant, it means acceleration is zero. It means all the forces which are acting on this ball, they are getting cancelled with each other. So, all the forces, they are acting in vertical direction only, no? So, some forces are acting in upwards direction, some forces are acting in downwards direction. Are you able to understand, ma? So, therefore, all these forces, they are getting balanced with each other. Then the body will travel with uniform velocity. That is the meaning of this one, no? So, here what we can write, if body travels with uniform velocity, then what I can write? Then I can write acceleration of the particle is zero. So see how many forces are acting on this ball. Clear? If this is the ball, so its own weight mg will be acting in downwards direction, no ma? Its own weight mg will be acting in downwards direction. Weight of the body is pulling the body downwards. Clear? Okay. Now this is what kind of body he is saying? He is saying it is a positively charged particle. And direction of electric field is in downwards direction. Then it will experience electric force in which direction? Same direction. That's what we have discussed. No, positively charged particles always experience force in the direction of electric field. So therefore, there is one more force which is pulling this one downwards, and this is force of electric force. Electric force is pulling this body downwards. Now, if two forces are in downwards direction, what is the upward forces which is acting? So this body, it is present in air, no? Air is present in between these two plates. If air is present and this body has some volume, no? Because it has some density, definitely this body has some volume. It means this body is displacing some air from that position. This body is displacing some air. If any body displaces a liquid or a fluid, it will experience a force of buoyancy in upward direction. In fluid mechanics, you should have studied, no? If you immerse any body inside a liquid or a fluid, body always experiences force of buoyancy. So one force which is acting in upwards direction is force of buoyancy. Any other force? Any other force? One more force is there. Coefficient of viscosity is also acting, no? Clear, ma? So if any body travels in a liquid or a fluid, if that liquid has viscosity, then it will experience a force of viscosity also, which is called as a force due to friction. Are you able to understand, ma? See, you should have studied this law, no? For example, if this is a liquid, clear, ma? And if this body is traveling in this direction with a velocity of v, then this body experiences a viscous force exactly in opposite direction. And what is the viscous force we calculate? That is called as Stokes law. So viscous force is equals to 6 pi eta r into v. What is this law called as, ma? Stokes law. Are you able to understand? So one more force which is acting on this ball is this force, which is called Stokes law, or force due to viscosity. Clear? So if all these forces are balanced, then body is coming downwards with uniform velocity. But here there is one more condition. What is that? He gave that density of air is negligible. So if density of air is negligible, out of all these forces, which force is negligible, can you say? Density of air is negligible, no? Then out of all these forces, which force is negligible? Force of buoyancy is negligible. Why? Because what is the formula for force of buoyancy? Force of buoyancy is equals to rho L VLG. Rho L VLG. What is rho L? Density of the liquid. Or density here, what is the liquid? Air is the fluid here. So this is negligible. He is saying this is very small, no? So force of buoyancy we can neglect here. Now what are the remaining forces which are acting? The remaining forces which are acting are viscous force. 6 pi eta r into v is acting in upward direction. This is balanced by mg plus electrostatic force of repulsion. Are you able to understand, ma? So therefore 6 pi eta r into v is equals to, mass can be written as, mass of the ball is not given, but density is given. Clear, ma? So mass can be written as density into volume into g plus force formula, F is equals to Q into E. That's all, no? F is equals to Q into E. Clear? From this, what we are supposed to find out? We are supposed to find out Q value. That's all, no? And volume, is it given? Volume of the body is also not given. So volume of a sphere, formula 4 by 3 pi r cube. So that you can substitute. So 6 pi eta r into v is equals to rho into, instead of volume I can write 4 by 3 pi r cube. Clear, ma? Into g is plus q into E. Now all the values we have, no? Eta value we have, r value we have, velocity we have, density we have. Density of the body is how much, ma? Density of the body is a sigma. So instead of rho I will write sigma. So sigma into 4 by 3 pi r I have, g I have, q I have, so find out E value also I have. So from that, can't you calculate Q value? Okay, that is our answer. Okay, come on, make a note of this one. So have you understood, ma, how we have done the calculation? So the answer which you will get is this one. So 6 pi eta r into v minus sigma into 4 by 3 pi r cube g divided by E. Clear, ma? So this is the amount of charge possessed by this ball. That is our answer. Okay. So understood, Nama, how we are solving? Very simple. Okay. So next, let us see one more question. Okay, ma? So next question is like this. So distance between two charged plates is d. So these are two charged plates. Distance between them is d. Okay. What is the direction of electric field? So this is the direction of this is a positively charged plate, negatively charged plate, an electron proton pair is released somewhere in the gap between the plates. Clear ma? So an electron proton pair is released somewhere in the gap between the plates. Okay ma? So after same time the particles reach opposite plates. Okay ma? Then what he is asking, at what distance from negative plate was the pair released? At what distance from negative plate pair was released? Okay ma? This is the question which we are supposed to answer. Then what he is saying, mass of electron is me and mass of proton is mp. So electric field is given as E, mass of electron is me and mass of proton is mp. That is the question. Okay ma? Come on, see how you can do this calculation. Have you understood the question ma? So this is a positive plate and this is a negative plate. The distance between them is d. One is positive charged plate and another one is negatively charged plate. Electric field between them is E. Clear? So we are releasing an electron and proton pair somewhere in the gap between the plates. Okay ma? So let us consider somewhere here. So this is one proton. Proton means with charged ma? Positively charged particle. And here we are releasing an electron. Electron means which charge? Negatively charged body. Okay. So let this distance be x. Clear? Then what will be the remaining distance? Remaining distance will be d minus x. That's all. So at a distance of x from the negative plate, we are releasing both of them. Okay. Then after some time, proton will strike which plate? Proton will strike negative plate because it is a positively charged body, no? And electron will strike positive plate. And both of them, they are touching the plates in equal time. Then what he is asking then, what is the distance from the negative plate at which we have released these bodies? That is the question. So that is x value we are supposed to find out. This we are supposed to find out. Clear? So mass of electron is me, mass of proton is mp. Come on. Think about this one. Okay, ma? So at which position we should release them such that they reach the opposite plates exactly in same time. How can I calculate? Okay, ma? Again, equation of kinematics only, nothing new. Okay? So, see how you can answer this question. Come on. Okay? So, for proton, I will write a relation first of all. So proton, it reaches negative plate, no? It means how much distance it will travel? x distance. That's all. So I will try to use the relation s is equals to ut plus half at square, because question is based on displacement and time, no? Displacement x is present, time he said they are equal. So definitely I have to use this relation. So therefore, proton is x, distance traveled by proton is x, initial velocity 0, acceleration is a, time taken is t square. Okay. Now what is acceleration? A is equals to F by m. F is equals to Q into E divided by m is mass of proton. So therefore x can be written as half into QE divided by mass of proton into t square. This is my equation number 1. That's all number. Similarly, write equation for electron. For electron, how I can write? Again same relation, S is equals to ut plus half at square. That's all number. Now what is the distance traveled by electron? Electron will travel how much distance? D minus x distance. That's all number, because it is released here and it will touch the positive plate. So therefore I will write d minus x is equals to initial velocity is 0, half into acceleration is, charge is same number, for electron and proton charge remains same, 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. Now mass is how much? Mass of electron multiplied by t square. This is my equation number 2. Clear ma? So from this what I am supposed to find out? From this I am supposed to find out x value, no? So see how can I find out x value? Let us try to divide them. Clear ma? So dividing both equations. Okay. So if I divide both of them, then what I will get? So x divided by d minus x is equals to, now what are the terms which we will get, which will cancelled ma? So half QE t square they will get cancelled. So here the term, only term which is remaining is 1 by mp. Clear nama? So divided by, here what is the term which is remaining? 1 by me. Only these are the terms which are remaining. So therefore I can write me divided by mp. Okay, now further simplify this one. So x into mp is equals to d minus x into me. That's all nama. So x into mp plus x into me is equals to d into me. So therefore x value can be written as d into me divided by mp plus me. So this is my equation for x value. It means at this distance I have to release both these particles so that they touch the opposite plates in equal time. Okay ma? That's all. Make a note of this one. That is the answer now which he is asking. That's all. Very simple. Question, have you understood ma? So here there is a pair of charged plates and the direction of electric field is given. Okay. So from the bottommost plate, from the lower plate, we have to, from the lower plate or upper plate ma, what he gave? Electron should be projected from the lower plate. Huh? Lower plate. Yes, lower plate only. Okay, ma? So with what minimum speed an electron should be projected from lower plate so that it just touches the upper plate. That is the question. Okay. How can you solve this one? So let mass of electron is, mass of electron, let it be m, and charge of electron, let it be E. Okay, ma? How can I calculate? So he is asking us to find out minimum speed. So with any speed you can project. So if you project with a speed greater than the speed also, electron will go and touch that negative plate. But minimum speed he is asking. Minimum speed means what? The electron should just touch the negative plate, no? It means just before touching the negative plate, its velocity should become 0. That is the meaning of this one. That's all, Nama. So therefore, which relation I can use? I can write v square minus u square is equals to 2a. Yes, that relation I can use. That's all, Nama. So final velocity is how much? 0. It should touch the upper plate with -0 velocity. That is the minimum velocity. So initial velocity is how much? That is what he is asking, u square. So 2 into acceleration, negative acceleration, no, multiplied by d. Why we are writing acceleration to be negative here? Why acceleration is negative? Because electron is moving in which direction? Electron is moving in the direction of electric field. If electron moves in the direction of electric field, it will experience a force exactly in opposite direction. So retardation is produced actually, acceleration is not produced. So therefore velocity of the charged particle or velocity of the electron continuously decreases. Clear nama? So therefore minus and minus gets cancelled. So u square is equals to 2 into acceleration formula F by m. F is equals to q into E divided by m into d. So therefore with what initial velocity we are throwing this one ma? So u is equals to square root of 2 into QE divided by m into d. So with this much of initial velocity we have to throw this particle. Are you able to understand ma? Now here what is the acceleration produced here? Acceleration is how much? QE divided by m. So this is the acceleration produced in the charged particle. Are you able to understand? Come on, make note of this one. Then we have one more question. We will write that question. So have you understood the question ma? So already this velocity we have calculated. No, this is the velocity with which if I throw a body exactly in upward direction. So just before touching that plate, its velocity will become 0. So that is this velocity. Now the question is, suppose electron is projected with a velocity in equation number 1, that is in case number 1. It means with this velocity I am throwing the electron, but not in vertically upward direction at an angle of 60 degrees to the electric field. Then this electron will reach up to how much maximum height? That is the question. How can I calculate? Clear ma? So in second condition what he is asking, so these are the plates, okay ma? So these are the negative plates and these are the positive plate. Clear? So electron is projected in this direction. So with respect to electric field, how much angle it is making? It is making an angle of 60 degrees. If this angle is 60, what is this angle? This angle is 30 degrees. No? So with how much velocity we are throwing? With the velocity of u is equals to square root of 2e into e divided by d divided by m. So q means a charge of electron only, no? Instead of q I can write e here. So 2e into e divided by m. With this velocity if I throw this electron, then what is the maximum height the electron will travel? That is the question. How can I calculate? Any idea? Clear ma? So first of all, can you say this electron will trace what kind of path? Definitely it will trace a parabolic path. Why it will trace a parabolic path, can you see? Because this is just like a body moving at an angle of theta other than 90 degrees. Clear nama? And the body will trace a parabolic path if this is acceleration due to gravity in downwards direction. Acceleration due to gravity A is equals to minus g should be in downwards direction. But here who is providing the acceleration? Acceleration is this much, no? A is equals to QE divided by m. This acceleration is acting in which direction? Definitely in downwards direction, because this is a positively charged plate and this is a negatively charged plate. So electron always experiences force in the direction of positively charged plate. So acceleration also will be always in downwards direction. So here what is the amount of acceleration? A is equals to QE divided by m. This is the amount of acceleration. Clear nama? So therefore, can I use the same relation of maximum height reached by the projectile? H max is equals to u square sine square theta divided by 2g. Can I use the same relation? Definitely I can use the same relation, but instead of g what I have to write? Instead of g I have to write QE divided by m, because this is the acceleration which is pulling this body in downwards direction. So just substitute here and find out the relation. Come on. So therefore H max is equals to initial velocity is how much? Square of this velocity. So square and root gets cancelled, no? So 2 into QE, or instead of QE I will write E. E into D divided by m multiplied by theta. Theta value shall I take 60 or 30? 30 I have to take with respect to horizontal, no? Sin 30 value is how much? 1 by 2. Sin square 30 is 1 by 4. 1 by 4 divided by 2 into g. Instead of g, I have to write QE divided by m. So just to simplify this one, that will be the maximum height reached by the charged particle. That's all. Come on. Okay, ma? So therefore, okay. So see what are the terms which get cancelled. QE gets cancelled, 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So m and m gets cancelled. Only d by 4 is my answer. That's clear, Dhamma? So therefore, maximum height reached by the charged particle is d by 4. Come on. So I think we have one more question here. After how much time electron again strikes the lower plate? That is the third question. Third question is, after how much time electron strikes the lower plate? Electron strikes the lower plate. For this one, how can you answer? So what is meant by after how much time electron strikes the lower plate means what? Time of flight, no? After how much time electron strikes the lower plate is nothing but time of flight. So how can I calculate time of flight? So time of flight. So for time of flight, what is the relation? 2u sine theta divided by g. That's all, Amma. So therefore, 2 into initial velocity is so much, square root of 2 into e divided by m into d. Clear, ma? So multiplied by sine 30. Sine 30 is 1 by 2 divided by g. G value is QE divided by m. That's all, Dhamma. So this is the equation for time taken. Are you able to understand? That's all. This is our answer. So you can further simplify this one, or you can leave this one like this. Okay. So then he is asking one more question. Horizontal distance traveled by the electron. Fourth question is horizontal distance traveled by electron. This how can I calculate? Okay, ma? So what is meant by horizontal distance traveled by the electron? Horizontal distance traveled by the electron is nothing but range of electron, no? Range. And what is the formula for range? U square sine 2 theta divided by g. That's all. This is the formula for range of a projectile. So u square, just to square this one, so 2 into e into d divided by m multiplied by sine 2 theta. Theta is 30 degrees, 2 theta means 60. Sine 60 value is how much? Root 3 by 2 divided by g. G value is how much? QE divided by m. That's all. Now what are the terms? QE gets cancelled, m and m gets cancelled, 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So therefore range is equals to how much? Root 3 into d. That is our answer. That's all, no? That's all, very simple.